This video will walk through the answer to question number 5 in the Financial Analysis Workbook. This is the first exercise in this assignment in which we will actually build a discounted cash flow analysis, or a DCF, for a building. This is the most common valuation method used in the industry. Buildings rarely have constant cash flows or growth rates. This, quote, unevenness to cash flows prohibits us from simply valuing a building by capping stabilized NOI. Additionally, the exit price is an important component of any valuation. Up to now, we have spoken of cap rates based on stabilized NOI at the start of our pro formas. The exit price is based on using a cap rate assumption for the final year of our DCF. Since the exit cap rate, or terminal cap rate, usually differs from the stabilized cap rate, in addition to the unevenness of cash flows, a DCF is necessary in order to calculate total returns over our hold period. More on that concept in a few minutes. Okay, let's get started. We start with gross revenues. As the exercise notes, our gross revenues will increase by 3% annually. We are given year 1 and 2, and therefore year 3 and on, our revenues will simply be the previous year's figure times 1 plus 3%, or 1.03. In Excel, we can simply refer to the 3% shown in the assumptions section. A quick Excel tip. To avoid changing the formatting, paste only the formula. Select the row that you want to paste in, and hold down Ctrl, Alt, and press V. This will bring up a box in which you can choose what to paste. Choose Formulas, or press F, and press OK, or Enter. This will copy over the formula without messing up your formatting. Next, we have general vacancy, which is calculated here just as it was in exercise 1. It's the vacancy rate, shown here in the assumption section, times the potential gross revenues. I'll also copy this sum formula to make sure that my effective income is being calculated. OPEX, CAPEX, and reserves, we are told, will increase by 3% annually. Again, we'll refer to the cell in the assumption section in Excel and simply multiply the previous year's figure by 1 plus that year's inflation rate. Note that we must anchor the row number that refers to the 3% because we will be copying this formula down. This is done by selecting the cell reference in the formula bar up here and pressing F4 twice. Again, we'll paste formulas. Next is debt service, which remains constant, so we will just refer to the previous year and copy over the formula. Debt service, unlike NOI, does not extend beyond our sale because the assumption is that we will repay the debt upon sale. To finish our cash flow section, we now need to fill in the numbers for the exit price. This includes 2 major components: our gross sale price for the building at the end of the pro forma and sale costs, or expenses. These are basically transaction costs needed to sell the building, things such as legal fees, brokerage fees, transfer taxes, etc. Our gross exit price is based on the next full year's stabilized NOI divided by the cap rate. The reason we use next year's NOI is because the person buying from us will buy the building based on its future cash flow. Therefore, any NOI occurring before the sale date is irrelevant to the next buyer. Next, the sale expenses are simply the gross exit price times the sale expense rate, in this case 2%. 2% is a fairly common assumption for most buildings. Now all we have left is calculating the NPV and IRR of cash flows. To calculate NPV in Excel, we use the NPV formula. You can use your financial calculator by simply inputting all the cash flows shown here and using a 15% hurdle rate as your discount rate. Note in Excel that the first cash flow is also discounted by 1 year. Therefore, we don't include the time 0 cash flows in the NPV formula. Instead, we start with year 1 and then add back year 0 at the end, as those cash flows are not discounted at all. They simply represent day 1 cash investment. So the first input in the NPV formula is the hurdle rate, and then simply the values, starting in year 1. And adding back year 0. To calculate IRR, we just use the IRR formula in Excel. This time, we do select the entire cash flows row. As you can see, our IRR actually does exceed our hurdle rate by about 5%.